Hey guys, welcome back. So today I decided to do a video. I'm going to try something out. In my previous video I explained what my nail channel is going to look like moving forward because I am changing things up a little bit. So if you want more information on that, go watch that video. I did think though it would be nice for me, since I was really excited about some of the polishes for the new fall collections, that I would compile all my favorites into one and do comparisons and live swatches and everything just like I used to. I'm trying it out. I don't know if I'm going to do this every season. We'll see. I might just do favorites with photos. It was kind of fun to jump back into it, especially with polishes I like. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Let me know. It's just me more focusing on polishes that I like. So that makes it a little more fun for me, and hopefully it makes it fun for you. So there have been some good collections that have come out this fall. We have the OPI Fall Collection, the regular line, What's Your Mani-tude, and then we have the Infinite Shine, What's Your Mani-tude. The regular line has some great colors. I'll put them up on the screen. A good mix of like some lighter colors and some really rich fall tones, which I absolutely love, and then a few shimmery ones in there I think, and then a few bright ones. And then the Infinite Shine collection also had kind of a good mix, more shimmers in that one for sure, and then also some bright ones and some lighter ones as well. The shimmery ones were pretty, but I didn't pick any of them out. There was a gray one that was really pretty, but I'll let you guys look at those. There's lots of channels that do reviews for that you can check out. I know Live with Biv does too, so that would be a good resource for you. A lot of them are rich, moody shades, and they have a late 90s, early 2000s vibe to them, which is kind of fun. ORLY has their 1990s collection. They've kind of been doing, I think in the spring they did 1970, in the summer they did 1980, and then this season they're doing 1990, which is fun, and there were some great colors in there. I didn't feel like they were too original. I think I have one from that collection. I almost had two, but one was pretty similar to one that I pulled out from the OPI line, or maybe it was Essie, I can't remember. But you'll see that in the video here in a minute. And then Essie had their Boho Rodeo collection, which I was really excited about. There's 8 polishes in there, a couple shimmers, mostly creams, and they were all kind of earthy brown tones, kind of reddish brown, which I really love, and then some lighter tones. And it was hard for me to pick which ones I like because I really am in the mood for those types of colors this fall, and OPI had quite a few too. So you'll see what I picked from there, and I'll have comparisons for that as well. And then Morgan Taylor released Living Our Life collection, and I usually ask for that one and I forgot to, so I don't have that collection, but a few of them look like colors that I would really gravitate towards, just really rich dark shades, kind of a red, maybe just the darkest one on here, and I can't tell if it's navy or black. Yeah, anyway, I'm just looking at here on my phone, but it's one that I'm kind of tempted to see, and maybe I'll see it in the stores if I can just pick up that one polish. It also had like a lime green and a cream and some kind of different ones that I really don't gravitate towards during the fall time. So let's go over the ones that I picked. I picked 8. I narrowed it down from 12 to 8, which I thought was nice because there is a lot of those kind of earthy tones. Like I mentioned before, I'm really craving this fall. So the first one we're going to start out with is Crimp Proper. I think that's a really cute name. I love these dusty purples in the fall time. They're one of my favorite polishes to wear, and it's a really good transitional color too as we go from summer to fall. This one has a great formula. It's a little bit thicker and quite opaque. It's pretty much opaque in one coat. I can do 1 to 2 depending on how thick I apply it, but it can be applied in one coat. What I loved about this one is it totally reminded me of Audio Bad Nails Chow Great Nails, and I love that polish, and it has a really interesting shimmer in it. So this is the same color tone without that kind of shimmer. It's really interesting. It's not even shimmer, and it's not a texture. It looks almost a little bit grainy, but it's smooth. It's just pretty awesome. So obviously I compared it to that one, but yeah, these smoky purples are the best. And let's get into the comparisons for it. So I compared it to Madame Wiesen, and I don't think I've ever shown this polish. My friend brought it to me when we went to New York. And it's not available here in the US, but it's very close. It's a little bit lighter, so I wanted to put it on there so that you guys could see that. And then Audio Bad Nails Chow Great Nails is very close, of course, minus that shimmer. That's the one that I was talking about that I absolutely love. It always pops up in my fall favorites. And now this Crimp Proper is going to be one that comes up in my fall favorites. And then nothing beats Merino Cool, you guys. It's a little bit warmer and it has a hint of brown and it's just beautiful. And I just wanted to show you how it compared to that one because I thought I would get asked about that one. So this is a great one. I'll definitely be reaching for it this fall and probably a little bit earlier this fall. And then from the Infinite Shine release, we have this blue, and this is totally bluer, so tubular. And I love a dusty blue too. This is one that I always reach for. This one has a nice formula as well. I would say 2 coats. It's a little glossier, so it's going to take a little bit more to build up, but it is opaque in those 2 coats. And that's pretty typical for OPI. I love, love, love a blue in the fall. I always pick one for my fall favorites. But what's going to be important here is how it compares to other ones that I have. So let's take a closer look. It does look pretty close to some that I absolutely love. But you can see here the alpaca in my bags is warmer and dustier. And then Truth or Flare, I'm always trying to find one that's really close to that one. For years, I've been wanting that. And it is very close to it. But every time I apply that, I'm like, oh, I forget the formula is not that great on Truth or Flare. And so this one has a really great formula compared to that one, and it's very close, and so I was happy about that. So this is probably my new go-to for blue in the fall. And then OPI Destined to Be a Legend is dustier and more gray, but also very close. So this is a little bit different. I feel like it is just a little bit brighter, and I like that. And so this might be one of my top blues now for fall that I'll be reaching for, but honestly, I could wear this type of polish any time of year and be happy. I love this one. Another one from the new OPI collection from their regular line is Cargo All Out. This is the first one that I noticed, that I reached for, that I put on my fingernail. You guys know I love greens, and this is just a beautiful dusty green. It's a little bit of a camo green, but it's got a little bit of blue in it. It's a little bit cool toned, and I love the dusty nature of it, and it's going to be perfect for this fall. Of course, I know a lot of you are going to like this one, and this is one that I would say definitely pick up. It's got a nice thicker opaque formula, which I actually like, so it applies really nicely. It doesn't run into your cuticles or anything. You can move the formula around and manipulate it the way that you want to. So it was a little bit thicker. Like, I found a few of these to be in their collection, and I really enjoyed that because they're just fun to apply and they're quite opaque. Absolutely a beautiful polish. I would say 1 to 2 coats on this one. It's just going to depend on how thick you apply it. Sometimes I like to do it thick, or sometimes I like to do 2 thinner layers. You guys know that I really like this one. I can't say enough about it. Let's get into some comparisons though. So I compared it to Still Life of Flowers, and that one's lighter but a similar shade. All these are kind of lighter, and I wish I would have done it more in like an ombre line from lightest to darkest, but I am always trying to find a polish that's very close to Essie Vested Interest because that's just one of my favorites. It's just a little bit lighter than Cargo All Out, which makes me like Cargo All Out a little bit better, to be honest, especially for fall, but it's still a little bit darker than Still Life of Flowers. And then Unreel It In, which was one of my favorites, is the darkest of all, but these are all the same kind of color tone. So depending on the mood you're in, you can go for a lighter one, a mid-tone one, a darker one. So I feel like this one just fits in perfectly to the polishes that I love. And so obviously I'm going to be wearing this one this fall, and I think you guys should wear it too because it's fantastic. From the Essie Rodeo collection, I have Boho Rodeo, and this one's beautiful. Oh my goodness, I love it. It's a really interesting color, and I do think it's a little different than some that Essie and other lines have come out with, and there may be just slight differences, but I love it's like a I want to call it a cherry chocolate because it's got some red in it, but it's still a rich chocolate color, even though it's kind of mid-toned. It's a little dusty. It's got a little bit of purple in it too, so it's like raisin leaning. It's just so stunning, and the formula is really great on this one too. I'd say 1 to 2 coats for it. It shows up more red in the photo, but it is a little more purple brown, and that was just hard for me to capture. I kept trying to switch the light, and it just wasn't working. So just so you know, it's showing up a slight more red color than it is, but it is stunning, you guys. Oh, this is the lightest one that I picked from all of them. There was another one that I just really want to mention in that collection called Save a Cowboy, and it's really pretty too. I tried to stick to 8 though, but I'm kind of regretting not putting it in here. I'll probably be reaching for that one too, and that one's a little bit lighter and more kind of yellow leaning, but not too yellow because I don't like that, but it's a really nice one too. So look that one up and maybe grab that one too. But This one is probably one of my favorites from that collection, but there were lots of good ones, at least the creams. I didn't really like the shimmers, but I think the shimmers in that collection you can use as a topper, if I'm correct. So anyway, let's look at the comparison so you can see how it compares and how it is different, and hopefully that will be more helpful than me just describing it. So I compared it to Leather You Like It or Not, and that's a little dustier but close. OPI Lip Hot Liner, that was one that I wanted to add to, but I felt like these were pretty close. But you can see that Boho Rodeo has just a touch more red than that one, just a touch more red to make it a little bit different, and that's why I like it so much, because I am kind of craving those red brown shades quite a bit. And then Hot Lip Liner is a newer shade from the OPI line, and I was going to put that one in, but I felt like it was pretty close to Pride when I did the comparisons, and so I was like, dang, those are pretty close, so I'm not going to pick that one because we already have one that's pretty similar. But Lip Hot Liner is a really beautiful shade, as you can see, next here to Pride, but they're pretty close. So we've got 2 and 2 that are pretty close to each other, but this one's just a little bit different because it's slightly red. That's what sets it apart, and that's why I love it so much. We'll definitely be wearing this one. Then we have Nail Pep Rally, and this shade is gorgeous. You'll probably look at it and think, oh, this is pretty close to that last one. In fact, let me put them up and hopefully you can see here that they are a little bit different. they look pretty close, you guys. Yeah. Anyway, this has a little more cranberry in it, I would say. They're pretty close, but this has more berry tone in it. It's a little bit more berry, and this is more like warm brick. But they're pretty close now that I'm comparing them. The formula on this one's really nice too. It's really glossy, a little bit curly, but builds up in 2 coats, and I like that because it makes it a little squishy and glossy and beautiful. It's got a little bit of a muted tone as well. And let's look at some comparisons, although I probably should have compared it to this one. But yeah, looking at it for sure, it's close, but a little more cranberry. So let's look at the other ones. So we have ORLY Red Rock. It's the closest, but a little more brown. And then we have Essie Bed Rock and Roll. It's warmer, but more of a brick red. And then we have We the Female, and it's quite a bit more berry. So it kind of fits in with the ones that I also compared to Boho Rodeo. So it's kind of in between those, and it was really hard for me to find comparisons. I kept comparing things and then changing it. I changed it like 4 times, and I felt like those ones that I compared it to really showed what color tone it was, and so hopefully that's helpful, but I absolutely love it. And we'll be wearing this one too. Which one to wear first, I don't know. They're both really great. Then we have Fringes and Saddles from that Rodeo collection from Essie, and this one is simply gorgeous. I'm also craving these dark chocolate browns. This one's got a great formula. It's got a Wicked type formula. It's a little thick but glossy, so it has some depth to it, a little bit rich. Sometimes when those polishes are dusty, they don't have that depth like they do when they're rich, and this one definitely is rich with maybe just a hint of dustiness, but there were definitely some polishes that were dustier, but I just absolutely love that. So it's a chocolate with a hint of red, but it's so dark when you apply it on the nail that it almost looks black, but you can still tell that it's brown, but it's pretty dark, and it's just amazing. I feel like it's like a brown version of Wicked, just in the way that the formula behaved. It's really stunning, you guys. I pulled out some browns that were as close to this, and here's what I came up with. So I compared it to Odd Squad, and that one's warmer, and then Brown to Earth, that one's definitely dustier, so you can hopefully see that quality and what I'm talking about in that. Sometimes when the polishes are dusty like that, they're more flat and matte looking, if that makes sense, and then the glossier ones have more depth to them. And that one has more purple gray undertones, so it's a little bit cooler. And then its Top Secret is one of my favorite, is more of a purple base, and so this is more of like a red brown base instead of a purple brown, if that makes sense, and I absolutely love it, and I think you guys will like this one too, so go pick it up. Grunge Glam is this next one. So this is the one that I picked from the ORLY collection, and it's a really interesting smoky gray, and if you look really close you can almost see just a little bit of light shimmer. It's really hard to pick up, and I'm not even sure if that's what I'm seeing, but I feel like just the tiniest hint, like not a lot. You don't even notice it on the nail, but it's really interesting. It makes it look even smokier in here. It's really cool. This dark gray has some green undertones, which I love, and so you'll see in the comparisons how that makes the grays different, because there's a lot of different tones of gray, and this one's really nice. I like that it's green. Sometimes when I look at it, I almost think, is it green? But it's definitely leaning more gray. The formula on this one's great. 2 coats, it's glossy, and let's look at those comparisons. So I compared it to Is It Smoky in Here from Olive and June, and that one's more of like a true gray, whereas Grunge Glam's more of a green gray. And then we have Fall I Love This Color and OPI Rub-a-Pub, and those both have like a blue based gray, if that makes sense, and hopefully you can see that. And so I really like this green one because it's a little bit warmer, it's a little more olive toned, and it's while being smoky, and so it's really, really great. Absolutely love this one. And then of course this time of year I always reach for these orangey reds, and OPI came out with this new one from their new fall called Totally Red-ical, and it's really, really pretty. The formula on this one's great, glossy, builds up in 2 coats, goes on really nice. It's rich and bright and fun, and I love a bright orange in the fall. It just looks so pretty with the leaves in the background, especially when you take pictures of it, and it's fun to wear neutral colors with these reds. So it's one of my favorites for sure. It's not the one I'm wearing on my nails though. I'm wearing Coca-Cola Red. I pulled this out to do a comparison because this is one of my favorite reds, and I just wanted to see how it compared to it. And this one's definitely more red. You'll see here in a second. But I was just craving this polish, and I had been all summer, and I wanted to wear it. So I'm wearing this one, and then I'm going to get right into wearing these. But let's look at those comparisons. So I compared it to Essie Color Binge, and that is my favorite, my go-to for fall. It's the one I always talk about, always pull out in my fall favorites. So I think it might be replaced by this one. So I think it's going to be replaced by this one because that shade's getting a little bit harder to find. It's just older, and it's got the skinny brush, and this one's just a little bit better. Pretty much exact to that. And then ORLY had a new one that came out called Girl Power from their fall collection, so I just wanted to show you how that compared to it. That one's a little more red. It's actually pretty close to Coca-Cola Red, but the formula on that one's really curly and quite a bit sheer, but it did build up pretty well in 2 coats. And then Coca-Cola Red is more red, as you can see, and one of my favorite reds to wear in fall, and so I threw that in. There's so many reds, you guys. It's so hard to do red comparisons, as you know. I hate doing that because there's so many, but it's almost exact to Color Binge, and I love that about it, so I'll definitely be wearing this one, and that's why I picked it. So hopefully that was helpful. Which ones were your favorites from the collections? If you like any of the Morgan Taylor polishes, let me know down below which ones I should pick up, because I think I do just want to pick up 1 or 2, or maybe I'll have Beyond Polish send me some. I'll have a link down below to all these polishes. You can get them at Beyond Polish. If you do, be sure to use my code GOLARI10 for a discount for that, and that helps me out too. I think I might do a fall favorites video, we'll see, so maybe in a few weeks I'll get that up. And thanks so much, and we'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye guys.